Ciao, and welcome to Immersion Travel Italy. I'm Katerina Ferrara, travel author and your host. Last time we began our journey through Italy's summer secrets with Sicily, exploring an island where volcanoes, turquoise waters, ancient cities, and island adventures create one of Europe's most extraordinary summer destinations. Today we'll cross the Strait of Messina and continue our journey in southern Italy, beginning in a region that remains surprisingly undiscovered by many international travelers, Calabria. For decades, Calabria has quietly existed in the shadow of some of Italy's more famous destinations. While millions of visitors flock to Tuscany, Venice, and Amalfi each year, Calabria remains wonderfully authentic. Here you find dramatic coastlines, crystal-clear seas, mountain villages perched above the water, ancient Greek heritage, and beaches that rival some of the most beautiful in the Mediterranean. This is a place where Italian families have vacationed for generations, yet many international visitors know very little about it. We'll explore the spectacular Costa Degli, visit Tropea, often considered one of Italy's most remarkable seaside towns, discover hidden beaches, island excursions, and local traditions, as well as some of the remarkable foods that define Calabria's unique identity. We'll continue north into Campania, one of Italy's most beloved summer regions. Campania is home to some of the country's most iconic coastal scenery. The Amalfi Coast dramatic cliffs plunge into the sea. Capri's glamorous beauty has attracted visitors for centuries. The colorful villages of Sorrento and the peninsula, all of the houses clinging to the steep hillsides above the sparkling water, while the islands of Ischia and Procida offer their own distinctly different summer experiences. But as always, we'll go beyond the postcard images. We'll talk about local traditions, summer festivals, fishing villages, boat excursions, regional foods, and the experiences that transform a beautiful destination into a memorable one. One of the things I love most about pairing Calabria and Campania is the contrast. Calabria feels wild, authentic, wonderfully undiscovered. Campania offers some of Italy's most celebrated coastal destinations and breathtaking scenery. Today, we'll see both of them, two very different but equally fascinating sides of southern Italy. Throughout the episode, I'll share not only places you should visit, but the stories, traditions, and experiences that help you understand why Italians themselves love spending summer here. So grab your sunglasses, pack your beach bag, and join me as we continue our journey through Italy's summer secrets. Before we begin exploring Calabria's beaches and seaside towns, it helps to understand the region itself. Calabria forms the toe of Italy's famous boot, separated from Sicily by the narrow Strait of Messina. Home to approximately 1.8 million residents, Calabria is one of Italy's least populated and least visited regions, yet it possesses some of the country's most spectacular coastal scenery. What makes Calabria unique is that it's surrounded by water on three sides and touches two different seas. To the west lies the Tyrrhenian Sea, while the Ionian Sea stretches along the eastern coastline. Together, these coastlines extend for nearly 800 kilometers or 500 miles, making Calabria one of Italy's most coastal regions. The landscapes vary dramatically from one side of the region to the other. Along the Tyrrhenian coast, visitors find rugged cliffs, hidden coves, dramatic viewpoints, and crystal clear turquoise water. The Ionian coast is often characterized by broader beaches, long stretches of sand, and a more relaxed atmosphere. Some beaches are backed by towering cliffs, while others offer wide, sandy shores ideal for families. Unlike Sicily or Sardinia, Calabria does not have a large offshore islands, but it is home to several small island groups and marine reserves. The most famous are the Aeolian Islands, which we talked about during Sicily. Perhaps this region's most famous seaside town is Tropea, often called the Pearl of the Tyrrhenian. Perched dramatically atop a cliff top, overlooking white sand beaches and turquoise water, it has become one of Italy's most photographed coastal destinations. Other notable beach towns include Scilla, with its legendary connections to Greek mythology, Pizzo, known for its picturesque waterfront and famous tartufo gelato, Soverato, often called the Pearl of the Ionian, Capo Vaticano, home to the region's most stunning beaches and viewpoints. Despite its extraordinary beauty, Calabria remains refreshingly authentic. Here you will find fewer international tourists, strong local traditions, outstanding food, and a coastline that still feels largely undiscovered. For travelers seeking a different side of Italy, Calabria may be just what you're looking for. Why include Calabria in your summer itinerary? Calabria offers something that has become increasingly difficult to find in Italy's most famous destinations: uniqueness and authenticity. While millions of visitors flock to Amalfi, the Cinque Terre, and Tuscany each year, Calabria is refreshingly local, allowing travelers to experience a side of Italy that feels less polished and more genuine. History lovers will find a fascinating blend of Greek, Roman, Byzantine, Norman, and Spanish influences. Calabria was once part of Magna Grecia, and traces of that ancient past are visible in the archaeological sites, hilltop villages, medieval castles, and historic churches. The region is home to several of Italy's most beautiful villages, including Gerace, Stilo, and Murano, Calabro. Food is another reason to visit. Calabria is famous throughout Italy for its fiery peperoncino, or chili pepper, which flavors everything from pasta sauces to cured meats. The region is equally known for its sweet red onion, the onions of Tropea, bergamot citrus grown along the Ionian coast, exceptional olive oil, and hearty traditional cuisine that reflects centuries of cultural influence. Summer also brings some wonderful local treats. No visit to Calabria is complete without trying the famous Tartufo di Pizzo, one of Italy's most celebrated gelato desserts. You'll also find refreshing granitas, like you'll find in Sicily, the icy drinks, citrus pastries, almond sweets, and festival foods tied to local celebrations throughout the season. Perhaps the greatest reason to include Calabria is the evening passeggiata that fills seaside promenades. You can watch fishing boats return to the harbor at sunset and also see the village squares come to life. Calabria may not have an international fame, but the Italians do consider it one of the best places to go to the beach. Speaking of going to the beach, the Italians don't say they go to the beach, they say go to the sea. Andiamo al mare. You'll never hear them say andiamo alla spiaggia, to the beach. One of the reasons Calabria remains less visited than some other Italian regions is that it's a bit more planning to get there. For visitors arriving from North America, you're going to probably come through Rome. And from Rome, you can either take a domestic flight to one of Calabria's airports or continue south by train. High-speed trains connect Rome with Calabria, reaching destinations such as Lamezia Terme, Tropea, Reggio Calabria, and other coastal towns. Depending on your destination, the journey can take between 4 and 6 hours. Flying is often the quickest option. Calabria is served by 3 main airports: Lamezia Terme, the region's primary gateway; Reggio Calabria near the Strait of Messina; and Crotone on the southern Ionian coast. Most international visitors are going to connect through Rome or Milan before heading south. Another popular option for travelers is combining Sicily and Calabria. Fly into Catania on the island of Sicily, and then spend time exploring Sicily before crossing the Strait of Messina by ferry. They are supposedly building a bridge. We shall see. The crossing between Messina and Villa San Giovanni is only 20 minutes. You can actually see the other side, making it one of the easiest and most scenic ways to enter Calabria. Travelers coming from Puglia can also reach Calabria from Bari. The journey is a little longer. There are train connections, but travel times can be surprisingly lengthy because southern Italy's rail network is primarily oriented north to south rather than east to west. Once in Calabria, transportation becomes more challenging. Major towns along both coasts are connected by train, making destinations like Tropea, Scilla, Pizzo, Reggio Calabria, and Soverato relatively easy to reach without a car. However, many of Calabria's most beautiful hill towns, beaches, national parks, and villages are going to require a car. For travelers wanting to explore extensively, that rental car provides the greatest flexibility, but you certainly could do it by train with some patience. My recommendation is simple. If Calabria is your primary destination, arrive by train and rent a car. If you're also going to visit Sicily, consider crossing the Strait of Messina and then continuing your journey north through one of Italy's most beautiful and underrated regions. Calabria has 5 coastal personalities. There's cliffside Calabria. This is one most Calabria visitors dream about. Dramatic cliffs plunge into turquoise water. Think Tropea, Capo Vaticano, and stretches of the Costa Degli showcase some of Italy's most spectacular coastal scenery. There's mythological Calabria. Few places in Italy are more connected to ancient legends. Scilla, perched above the Strait of Messina, is linked to Homer's Odyssey, and the sea monster, Scilla. Throughout the region, Greek history and mythology remain woven into daily life, and you may even hear some version of Greek spoken. Authentic Calabria. This is Calabria many visitors never see. These are the fishing villages, family-run restaurants, evening walks with the family, local festivals and towns where life still moves at a slower pace. Calabria remains one of Italy's most genuinely local destinations. There's also mountain and village Calabria. Many people are surprised to discover Calabria is not just beaches. There's a national park, rugged mountains, medieval hill towns such as Gerace and Murano Calabro, and forests that occupy much of the interior. There's also flavorful Calabria. No region in Italy embraces bold flavors like this region. The pepperoncino, Tropea onions, bergamot, olive oil, swordfish, and the famous tartufo di Pizzo create a culinary identity distinctly Calabrian. Calabria's 5 greatest southern destinations. So now we've decided to go to Calabria and we need to talk about where to go. We'll talk about itineraries further into the episode. I recommend that anyone planning a summer trip to Calabria consider these 5 towns as they are some of the most beautiful scenery in southern Italy. Number 5 is Soverato. We'll begin on the Ionian coast in Soverato, called the Pearl of the Ionian Sea. Home to 9,000 residents, Soverato is one of Calabria's most popular summer destinations for Italian vacationers. My friend Georgia and her family went here on vacation last summer. Unlike some of the dramatic cliffside towns we'll discuss later, Soverato is known for long beaches, clear water, palm-lined promenades, and a relaxed atmosphere. The town sits along the Gulf of Squillace, one of the most beautiful stretches of Calabria's eastern coastline. During the summer, visitors come here to swim, enjoy the waterfront restaurants, and experience a side of Calabria that feels distinctly local. One of the things I appreciate about Soverato is that it offers a genuine Italian beach holiday experience. You're going to find families strolling after dinner with their kids and dogs, children running free, and the beach establishments filled with locals that return year after year. For visitors looking for a very relaxing seaside base, this is an excellent choice. Number 4, Pizzo. Our next stop takes us to one of Calabria's most charming seaside towns. Pizzo also has about 9,000 residents and occupies a dramatic position atop a cliff top overlooking the Tyrrhenian Sea. The historic center is filled with narrow lanes, lively piazzas, and beautiful viewpoints overlooking the water. Dominating the coastline is the Aragonese Castle, best known as the place where Joachim Murat, Napoleon's brother-in-law and former King of Naples, was imprisoned and executed in 1815. Yet for many visitors, Pizzo is famous for something much sweeter. It is the birthplace of Tartufo di Pizzo, one of Italy's most celebrated gelato desserts. The classic version is chocolate and hazelnuts surrounded by molten chocolate and dusted with cocoa powder. Wander the historic center, enjoy the sea views, and sample this delight. The third town I want to mention is Scilla. Few places in Italy combine mythology, history, and natural beauty as perfectly as Scilla. I should also mention that for each of my videos, there is an associated blog on my website, Katerina with a K, KaterinaFerrara.com. So you don't have to keep track of the sites or the beaches or any of my recommendations because they will all be in that blog. Scilla is located at the northern entrance to the Strait of Messina, and it has an approximate population of 4,500. It has a story that dates back thousands of years. Many scholars associate this town with a sea monster described in Homer's Odyssey. According to Greek mythology, sailors passing through these waters had to navigate between Scilla and Charybdis, 2 terrifying dangers that guarded the strait. Today, however, Scilla is anything but frightening. The town's greatest treasure is its enchanting fishing district, where homes sit directly beside the water. Small boats rest outside doorways, restaurants overlook the sea, and narrow lanes wind between centuries-old buildings. Above the town stands the castle, Ruffo Castle, dramatically positioned on a rocky outcrop overlooking the strait and Sicily beyond. This is one of those places that feels uniquely Italian. It remains one of my favorite coastal towns in southern Italy. Number 2 is Capo Vaticano. If your dream of crystal clear waters and spectacular coastline scenery is to come true, you want to visit Capo Vaticano. Located south of Tropea, this dramatic headland is not a town, but rather a collection of beaches, viewpoints, and small communities overlooking some of the most beautiful water in Italy. The coastline here is characterized by granite cliffs, hidden coves, white sand beaches, and extraordinary shades of blue that often surprise visitors. Many of Calabria's most iconic photographs were taken from the viewpoints of Capo Vaticano, where visitors can gaze across the Tyrrhenian Sea towards Stromboli and the Aeolian Islands. I always cover these sites on my Instagram page if you'd like to visit. It's Katerina Ferrara, author. The beaches themselves are among the finest in Calabria, making this a favorite destination for swimming, snorkeling, boating, and relaxing next to the sea. For many travelers, Capo Vaticano delivers the scenery they imagined when they first dreamed of southern Italy. The number one town is, of course, Tropea, Calabria's undisputed star. Tropea has about 6,000 residents and is called the Pearl of Calabria. It's become one of Italy's most celebrated coastal destinations. The town rises dramatically atop towering sandstone cliffs overlooking brilliant turquoise water. From almost every viewpoint, visitors are treated to a postcard-worthy scenery. The historic center is filled with elegant piazzas, noble palaces, churches, and narrow streets that are lined with shops and restaurants. One of the town's most iconic landmarks is the sanctuary of the Madonna dell'Isola, perched on a rocky promontory overlooking the sea. Tropea's history stretches back to ancient times. Greeks, Romans, Byzantines, Normans, and Aragonese all left their mark here, creating a town rich in both beauty and heritage. The beaches below the cliffs are among the most famous in Italy, while the town itself is renowned for its sweet red onions, considered the best in the country. What makes Tropea special is that it offers a lot more than just beach. You can spend the morning swimming in the afternoon exploring the historic streets, or if part of your family loves to spend all day at the beach, the other part of the family has plenty to do in town. If you visit only one destination in Calabria, you're going to want to make it Tropea. As beautiful as Calabria's coastline may be, some of the region's most memorable experiences happen away from the sand. You might taste that tartufo in Pizzo, or explore Gerace. Gerace is inland. It is a beautifully preserved medieval town of about 2,000 residents perched high above the Ionian coastline. Found on a rocky hill, the town offers extraordinary views toward the sea, but the highlight is the magnificent Norman Cathedral, one of the largest medieval churches in southern Italy. Visitors can also wander the narrow streets, ancient gates, noble palaces, and quiet piazzas that seemed largely untouched by modern tourism. You might also want to visit the little Venice of the South in Scilla. The Chianalea is one of the most picturesque fishing districts in Italy. Here, homes are built directly on the water, fishing boats rest outside the doors. And unlike many famous villages, this town is very authentic. Fishermen still work the waters each morning, and much of the neighborhood retains its traditional character. Sunset in Tropea is also another brilliant time of day. As the afternoon light begins to soften, visitors gather along the cliffside viewpoints overlooking the Tyrrhenian Sea. The historic center glows golden, and the sea reflects the shades of orange and pink, and the silhouette of Stromboli appears in the horizon. Stromboli, you'll remember, is that active volcano as part of Sicily's islands. The atmosphere changes as locals emerge for their evening passeggiata. Cafes fill, church bells ring, and the town takes on a relaxed energy that's perfectly Italian summer. One other experience I want to mention is taking a boat excursion along the Costa Degli. You know, I believe that one of the best ways to see these cliffs and seaside villages is from the water. You've got towering cliffs that rise above hidden coves. You'll enter sea caves that appear along the shoreline. Small beaches emerge between rocky headlands that you can't get to any other way than by water. The water shifts to remarkable shades of blue, turquoise, green. Many excursions include swimming stops, opportunities to snorkel, views of Stromboli and the Aeolian Islands in the distance. The name Coast of the Gods may sound ambitious, but after spending a day here on these waters, I understand why it got that reputation. These experiences reveal why Calabria is so much more than a beach destination. It's a region of history, traditions, food, scenery, and authentic communities. Let's talk about those summer festivals and summer traditions. The first one I want to mention is the Feast of St. Roch, and that is in Scilla, mid-August. It's one of the most important summer celebrations in Calabria, and it takes place in this beautiful seaside town. Religious processions wind through the historic streets. Music that local bands and the tamburi fill the town. The tamburi can be 6 years old or 80 years old. Locals are gathered along the waterfront for celebrations that continue into the evening. Tropea has celebrations in both July and August. Throughout summer, Tropea hosts concerts, cultural events, religious celebrations, and outdoor performances within the historic center. The town becomes especially lively after sunset as visitors and residents fill the piazzas and cafes and the scenic viewpoints. The Sagra della Cipolla Rossa, that very important onion of Tropea, happens during the summer. This celebration includes food. Visitors can also sample onion marmalade, pasta dishes, preserves, and traditional recipes that showcase this unique local sweet onion. There's also pepperoncino festivals in various towns throughout the summer. Calabria's relationship with the chili pepper borders on obsession. You'll find all types of food at the pepperoncino festivals, as well as cooking demonstrations, music late into the evening, and a lot of regional cuisine. The towns include Diamante. That festival happens in early September. Throughout Calabria, just like throughout Italy, Ferragosto celebrations happen on August 15th, the Feast of the Assumption of Mary. So you'll also have music, fireworks, and concerts that take place in town squares and celebrations late into the night. I also do want to mention that August, the week that surrounds August 15th, is going to be one of your most expensive times to visit any location in Italy because all Italians are on vacation August 15th. So they drive the prices of hotels up. As far as boat excursions, one of the great advantages of Calabria's coastline is that some of the most spectacular scenery can be seen from the water. The Scilla Strait of Messina cruise combines natural beauty with mythology. There's also the Isola di Dino and Sea Caves cruise. In northern Calabria, Isola di Dino is Calabria's largest island and one of the most beautiful natural attractions. The island is famous for dramatic cliffs, hidden coves, and sea caves. The Blue Grotto and the Lion's Cave are among the most visited highlights. The water surrounding the island is exceptionally clear and ideal for snorkeling. Many excursions include swimming stops that allow visitors to experience the remarkable marine environment up close. Number 3 is Capo Vaticano snorkeling. Here there's rocky outcroppings and crystal clear water. And small boat excursions allow you to reach beaches and swimming areas that are difficult or impossible to access by land. Boats move along the coastline. Passengers enjoy spectacular views of the granite cliffs and white beaches that have made Capo Vaticano famous throughout Italy. Stromboli we mentioned during the Sicily episode. Several operators offer excursions from the Tyrrhenian coast to the volcanic island that rises dramatically from the northwest coast of Calabria and is continuously active. Small eruptions illuminate the night sky, creating one of the Mediterranean's most extraordinary natural spectacles. And number 1 is the Costa dei cruise. If you choose only one boat excursion in Calabria, you want the Coast of the Gods. This stretches between Tropea and Capo Vaticano and showcases the region's absolute best. Along the way, you'll see hidden beaches, dramatic cliffs, sea caves, turquoise bays, and some of the clearest water in Italy. The cruises often include snorkeling, a local aperitivo, but of course, the breathtaking views. Before I share my ideal itinerary, a quick note on transportation. While Calabria's major towns are connected by train, including Tropea, Pizzo, Scilla, and Reggio Calabria, many of the region's most beautiful viewpoints and beaches are easier to reach by car. For this itinerary, I'm assuming you will arrive to Rome, for example, and take a train to Lamezia Terme, then pick up your rental car. This provides the greatest flexibility while still allowing you to enjoy Italy's excellent rail network for that journey south. A 7-day Calabria itinerary might look like a base in Tropea for 7 nights. Tropea is the most attractive town. It's got plenty of restaurants and a great atmosphere. It's easy access to Capo Vaticano, easy day trip to Pizzo and Scilla, and they've got a lot of boat excursion options. I find that this might be the easiest way to base yourself. You could also base yourself for 4 nights in Tropea and then 3 nights in Soverato and explore both of the coasts. Tropea gives you, as I mentioned, Capo Vaticano, Pizzo, Scilla. The Soverato base gives you Camina Beach, Gerace, the Ionian coast, and that more relaxing beach time. You're probably going to want to arrive in Lamezia Terme and explore Pizzo. Day 2 would be Tropea. Day 3, move along the Costa dei and Capo Vaticano. Day 4 could be Scilla. Day 5, head inland and over to the Ionian coast and visit Soverato. Day 6, Soverato and Camina Beach. And then maybe day 7, Praia a Mare and Arcomagno. You're going to finish that journey with the most beautiful sights. I didn't mention Arcomagno, but it's a famous sea arch. It's a perfect place for your final swim for the week and a great place to see one of Italy's most authentic and underrated regions. What I love most about this itinerary is that it showcases the many different personalities of Calabria. You experience the historic towns, the spectacular beaches, mountain villages, boat excursions, local food, and some of the most beautiful coastal scenery in southern Italy. One thing I would do is probably not pack and unpack every day. Calabria is best enjoyed slowly, so we prefer to have a hotel for more than 1 or 2 nights. So like I said, you can base yourself in Tropea and make the trips, or you can split the trip between 2 bases. We're going to head north. We're going to leave Calabria's hidden treasures and enter one of Italy's most celebrated summer destinations, a region of dramatic cliffs, glamorous islands, colorful fishing villages, and some of the most famous coastal scenery in the world. Welcome to Campania. If Calabria is one of Italy's hidden summer treasures, Campania is one of its most celebrated. Located in southern Italy along the Tyrrhenian Sea, Campania is home to approximately 5.6 million residents, making it one of Italy's most populous regions. The regional capital of Naples is one of Europe's oldest continuously inhabited cities and one of Italy's most vibrant cultural centers. Campania poses an extraordinary combination of natural beauty, history, islands, beaches, archaeology, and famous food. Few regions in Europe can claim such a remarkable concentration of world-famous destinations within a relatively small area. The coastline stretches from the volcanic landscape around the Bay of Naples to the dramatic cliffs of the Amalfi Coast to the sun-drenched shores of the Salento in the south. Along the way, visitors encounter colorful fishing villages, elegant resorts, hidden coves, palaces, ancient ruins, and some of the Mediterranean's most breathtaking scenery. Campania is also an island region. The glamorous island of Capri has attracted emperors, artists, and celebrities for centuries. Ischia offers thermal springs, beaches, and lush gardens, while Procida, the smallest of the three major islands, remains a wonderfully authentic fishing village with pastel-colored homes and maritime traditions. Towering above much of the region is Mount Vesuvius, Europe's only active volcano on the mainland. Its eruption in 79 AD preserved Pompeii and Herculaneum, creating two of the world's most important archaeological sites and giving Campania one of the most fascinating historical landscapes in Italy. Food lovers are equally drawn to the region because Naples gave the world pizza. Campania is also famous for its buffalo mozzarella, limoncello, fresh seafood. The incredible pastries of Naples are the best in the world, and some of Italy's most beloved summer desserts. What makes Campania truly special is its diversity. In a single trip, you can explore beautiful beaches, Roman cities, glamorous islands, swim beneath towering cliffs, hike coastal trails, wander through colorful villages, and enjoy some of Italy's finest cuisine. But you will most likely be with other crowds of tourists. Campania offers one of the most complete travel experiences in Italy. Many visitors come to Campania specifically because of the famous Amalfi Coast. Positano, Amalfi, and Ravello have become symbols of Italian summer, drawing visitors from around the world with the colorful architecture, dramatic landscapes, and breathtaking views. But Campania extends far beyond this famous coastline. History lovers can explore some of the most important archaeological sites in the world. Pompeii, Herculaneum, and Paestum provide remarkable opportunities to walk through ancient streets, temples, and monuments that reveal life thousands of years ago. Campania captures the energy and passion that many people associate with southern Italy. Life fills into the streets. Markets overflow with local products. Ferries crisscross the bay. Families gather in piazzas after sunset. Everywhere you go, there's a sense of movement, vitality, and celebration. For travelers seeking beautiful scenery combined with unforgettable experiences, Campania is one of Italy's most rewarding summer destinations. One particular note before we continue. Campania, of course, has some of Italy's most popular summer destinations. July and August offer beautiful weather, but they also bring huge crowds, traffic jams, high hotel prices, and long lines for ferries. Personally, I believe the ideal time to visit Campania is May, early June, because most Italian school kids do not get out until the middle of June, and September after the kids are back to school. During these months, the sea is inviting, the weather is generally excellent, you'll enjoy a more relaxed experience while still benefiting from the full-time ferry schedules, hotels that are open, and towns that are lively. Late April and October can also be wonderful, especially for sightseeing, hiking, and enjoying the region without peak season crowds. However, visitors should be aware that some hotels, beach clubs, boat excursions, and ferry services are reduced during the end of October, closing up for the winter. If your goal is to experience Amalfi or Capri at their best while avoiding intense crowds, May, early June, like the first week, or September are difficult to beat. Campania's 5 summer personalities. Amalfi Coast, Campania. This is the Campania most travelers imagine first. Colorful villages cling to dramatic cliffs above the sea. Scenic roads wind through lemon groves and terraced hillsides. Positano, Amalfi, and Ravello create the world's most recognizable coastal landscapes. Then there's island Campania. Capri offers elegance and a spectacular sense of natural beauty. Ischia is known for beaches, gardens, and thermal springs. Procida provides a more relaxed atmosphere. Each island possesses its own distinct character and rewards visitors in different ways. Volcanic Campania. Mount Vesuvius is constantly looking on you all around the Bay of Naples, while volcanic landscapes of the Campo Flegrei continue to shape the region's geography, agriculture, and culture. These volcanic soils help produce some of Campania's finest wines and agricultural products, and of course, authentic Campania. This is found around Naples' neighborhoods, family-run trattorias, the fishing harbors, seaside promenades, and the lesser-visited communities of the Salento coast. Here, visitors encounter traditions, flavors, and daily rhythms that define Southern life. Together, these 5 personalities create a region unlike any other in Italy, and this explains why many travelers target it for their first or second visit. 5 great summer destinations. First, let's begin in Sorrento, one of southern Italy's most beloved resort towns. The town has approximately 16,000 residents, and it occupies a spectacular position atop cliffs overlooking the Bay of Naples. For centuries, visitors have been drawn here by sea views, elegant atmosphere, the lemons of Sorrento, and its strategic location. Sorrento is not technically a part of the Amalfi Coast, but it serves as one of the gateways to the region. Ferries connect visitors to Capri, Naples, and Amalfi, while trains provide easy access to Pompeii and Herculaneum. The historic center is filled with narrow streets, artisan shops. Ceramics are a specialty in this area. Cafes and restaurants. Lemon groves surround the town, helping inspire the limoncello, the alcohol for which the region is famous. For many travelers, Sorrento provides a good balance of convenience, beauty, and atmosphere. Number 4 is Ischia. While Capri receives all the attention, Ischia is one of my favorite islands. There are about 65,000 residents spread across several municipalities, and what makes Ischia unique is its combination of beaches, volcanic landscapes, thermal springs, gardens, and historic villages. Visitors can spend the morning swimming or at the thermal spa, an afternoon exploring medieval streets in the castle, and the evening relaxing near the thermal waters. One of the island's most recognizable landmarks is that Aragonese castle, dramatically connected to the mainland by a stone causeway. For travelers seeking a slower and more relaxed island experience, Ischia is a perfect choice, and the seafood around the Bay of Ischia was always delicious every time we visited. Amalfi and Ravello. I often think of Amalfi and Ravello as a perfect pairing. Amalfi has about 5,000 residents. It was once a very powerful maritime republic of the Mediterranean like Genoa. Today, it remains the historic center of the coast. Its magnificent cathedral dominates the central piazza, while narrow streets reveal centuries of maritime history. High above Amalfi is Ravello. This is about 2,000 residents, and it has inspired artists, musicians, and writers for centuries. Ravello is known for its gardens, elegant villas, and breathtaking views. Villa Ruffolo and the Villa Cimbrone offer some of the most spectacular panoramas in Italy. These together showcase both history and elegance of the Amalfi Coast. Capri, of course, is a very famous destination. This small island has attracted emperors, writers, celebrities, and travelers for centuries. Yet, despite its fame, Capri remains genuinely beautiful. Visitors come to admire the Faraglione sea stacks, explore the Blue Grotto, wander the charming streets of Capri town, and Anna Capri above. You'll enjoy extraordinary views across the Bay of Naples. It has luxury boutiques and glamorous hotels, but it also has peaceful walking paths, quiet gardens, and spectacular viewpoints that most day trippers never discover. Positano. Finally, we're going to arrive at Campania's most iconic summer destination. Home to less than 4,000 permanent residents, Positano has become one of the most photographed towns in the world. Colorful houses cascade down steep hills toward the sea. Bougainvillea drapes across terraces. Narrow stairways connect boutiques, cafes, and viewpoints. Every turn seems destined for a postcard. Yet Positano is more than simply beautiful. The town rewards travelers who stay in town, wander the main beach in the morning, explore the upper neighborhoods before the ferry boats arrive, enjoy an evening aperitivo overlooking the coastline, watch the lights begin to twinkle across the hillside at sunset. While Amalfi may be the historic center of the coast, Capri, its most famous island, Positano has become the symbol of Italian summer itself. If there's one destination that captures romance, beauty, and atmosphere, it would be Positano. 3 alternatives to Positano. I mentioned before that Positano and these major Amalfi towns get very crowded in the summer. Traffic is impossible. Parking is impossible. So here are some lesser known alternatives that provide the same dramatic views, colorful architecture, and coastal charm. The first one is Praiano. Located between Positano and Amalfi, Praiano is one of my favorite towns on the coast. Home to about 2,000 residents, Praiano offers stunning views, Beautiful churches, excellent restaurants, and great sunsets. Unlike Positano, the atmosphere is noticeably more relaxed even during the height of summer. The town is well positioned for exploring the coast, with ferry connections available during the summer season. It's easy access to both Positano and Amalfi from here. Minori. Many visitors pass through Minori without realizing what they're missing. This charming seaside town has a population of about 2,000 residents and offers a more traditional coastal experience. The town has a pleasant beach, a lively waterfront promenade, excellent restaurants, and fewer crowds than its famous neighbors. Cetara. For travelers seeking authenticity, Cetara may be the Amalfi Coast's best-kept secret. The small fishing village of about 2,000 residents remains closely connected to its maritime heritage. Colorful fishing boats line the harbor. Seafood dominates local menus, and daily life continues at a nice pace. Cetara is famous for the colatura di alici, an anchovy sauce whose origins date back centuries. While visitors certainly come here, the atmosphere feels far more local than many of the coast's better-known destinations. If you're planning a trip and want the beauty of Amalfi without the huge crowds, Priano, Minori, and Cetara may be serious considerations for you. I know you've been waiting this whole time to talk beaches. One of the biggest misconceptions about Campania is that all the region is cliffs, villages, and scenic viewpoints. While the Amalfi Coast certainly dominates the postcards, Campania is also home to some remarkable beaches, many of which remain surprisingly overlooked by international visitors. Some beaches I'm going to recommend. Number 5, Marina di Praia. Tucked into a narrow inlet between towering cliffs in the town of Priano, Marina di Praia feels almost hidden from the outside world. The beach itself is small, but the setting is extraordinary. We swam here. Sheer rock walls rise dramatically on both sides, while fishing boats bob gently in the sheltered cove. You will know that sunlight here on the beach itself is not happening all day because it's down inside of cliffs. In the evening, the beach takes on a magical atmosphere as restaurants and cafes glow beneath the cliffs. For visitors wanting Amalfi Coast beauty without the crowds, Positano's main beach, Marina di Praia, is a wonderful alternative. Number 4, Spiaggia di Cetara. Most visitors know Cetara for fishing traditions and exceptional seafood. Fewer realize that it offers one of the most pleasant beaches on the Amalfi Coast. Located beside the town's historic picturesque harbor, the beach provides beautiful views of colorful fishing boats and the surrounding coastline. I love most here the atmosphere. Unlike many of the coast's more famous beaches, this feels like a living fishing community rather than a destination that's only tourism. Number 3 is the Cala Bianca. Located in the Cilento National Park south of Amalfi, Cala Bianca, or the White Beach, is often considered one of Italy's most beautiful. Accessible primarily by boat or hike, this secluded cove rewards visitors with crystal clear water, white pebbles, and an unspoiled natural setting. There are no dramatic cliffside hotels or designer boutiques. Instead, you'll find one of the most pristine coastal environments in southern Italy. For travelers seeking nature rather than crowds, Costa Bianca is difficult to surpass. Maritoni Beach is number 4, and this is on the island of Ischia. Stretching nearly 3 kilometers, Maritoni is the largest and most famous beach on Ischia. Unlike other smaller coves in Campania, Maritoni offers plenty of space to spread out and enjoy the sea. What makes it unique is the island's volcanic character. In some areas, geothermal activity warms the sand in nearby waters, creating a fascinating natural experience. One of my favorite memories actually happened here. We were on a boat ride, and we were anchored offshore, and we stopped for swimming. And our captain explained that if we swam in, there was a thermal spring. We jumped in the water and it was freezing, but as you approached the beach and the spring, the water got warmer and warmer until it was so hot. I don't know how people were sitting in it. You can reach this part of Ischia only by boat or by a steep staircase, but it's an experience that really captures how Ischia is different from Capri. It's not simply an island of beautiful views, it's an island shaped by volcanic forces that are continuing today. The beach is lined with restaurants, beach clubs if you're looking for those stabilmento balneare, thermal facilities making it easy to spend the entire day here enjoying both the sea and the thermal waters. Number 1 is Baia di Iranto. If I chose one beach that captures the natural beauty of Campania, it would be this beach. Located near Massa Lubranese, at the tip of the Sorrento Peninsula, this protected bay sits directly across from Capri and offers some of the most spectacular coastal scenery in the region. Reaching the bay requires a scenic walk, which keeps visitors lower than many of other Campania's famous beaches. The reward is extraordinary water, dramatic views, and a sense of tranquility that can be difficult to find anywhere else in the height of summer. Standing here looking across the sea toward Capri, it's easy to understand why the Greeks associated these waters with the mythical sirens. These beaches reveal a different side of Campania that extends beyond the famous towns and postcard viewpoints. They remind us that some of the region's greatest treasures are still waiting just beyond the most traveled paths. I know some of you are not lovers of the beach, so let's talk about experiences beyond. And the first one, of course, is Pompeii. Buried beneath volcanic ash during the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in AD 79, Pompeii remained hidden for centuries. Unlike most archaeological sites, Pompeii feels more like a city than a collection of ruins. It's really big, actually. One of the things I want to say about Pompeii is go in the morning or the afternoon if you're there in the summer. It is really hot during the day. It's not a place with shade trees. It's a city of stone. You can also climb Mount Vesuvius. We did this. I think someone told us it would take us 45 minutes to climb up. I think it took double that. You'll smell some sulfur along the way. You'll understand that it is still an active volcano. At the summit, there's beautiful panoramic viewpoint that stretches across Naples, Capri, and Sorrento. So it's worth the climb if you're willing to make it. Again, I recommend early in the morning or toward sunset. You could also hike the Path of the Gods. For those who enjoy walking, the Sentiero degli Dei, or the Path of the Gods, offers some of Italy's most breathtaking scenery. The trail traverses high above the Amalfi Coast, connecting villages while providing extraordinary views of the cliffs, sea terraces, and distant islands. You don't want to be doing this in flip-flops. You're going to need some tennis shoes or hiking shoes. This is a serious hike. Also, one of my favorite memories of Capri is the Blue Grotto. We approached on a boat and then transferred to the little boats that take you inside the grotto. You do have to sort of pay to enter because the boats that know how to go through the gate, the hole, take you in. But once you're inside, this intense electric blue created by the sunlight filtering through that underwater opening, it's like nothing you've ever seen before. It's absolutely breathtaking. So it is something, if you get to Capri, you want to figure out how to get to the Blue Grotto. You can climb down from above or you can enter into the bay there on a boat. And also, I want to mention that visitors come to Campania for Amalfi or Capri, but Naples is the capital of the area. Rather than trying to summarize Naples in a few minutes, I want to encourage you to explore my Regional Capitals of Italy series. I devote an entire episode to Naples and another episode to Campania and Amalfi. In that episode, I cover the city's history, major attractions, neighborhoods, local foods, restaurant recommendations from my friend Georgia, who lives in Naples, as well as day trips and experiences that make Naples like any other city in Italy. For this summer series, I'll say that Naples deserves more than a quick stop between the airport and the coast. Spending an evening wandering the historic center, enjoying that Neapolitan pizza that was born here, or sampling the freshly baked sfogliatella. The pastries of Naples are like nowhere else in Italy. We are enamored with them. And the sfogliatella is their local freshly baked treat. But anything they make, I'm telling you, in the pasticceria is worth trying. Naples is certainly vibrant and unforgettable, and it's a cultural foundation of the entire region. I want to talk about boat experiences. If there's one thing you want to splurge for here in the Amalfi area and Campania, it's to get out onto the water. Like I said, the towns can be so crowded, and the traffic on that Amalfi Coast drive is just bumper to bumper. You get out on the water, and it's a completely different perspective, and it's worth the investment. From the water, the dramatic cliffs rise above hidden coves. The small fishing villages appear tucked into the inlets. The entire coast takes on a different scale. Fresh air, sea air, and it's a really special experience. You can go out from Sorrento Peninsula on the water. You can also explore the Salento coast. South of Amalfi is Campania's most overlooked treasure, the Costiera Salento. And this is clear water, secluded beaches, sea caves, charming coastal villages that attract far fewer visitors than the Amalfi Coast. Boat excursions here are more relaxed and uncrowded while providing spectacular scenery. For travelers looking to escape the busiest parts of Campania during the height of summer, Salento can be a wonderful alternative. Of course, I want to mention a couple of festivals during the summer. The Feast of St. Anne in Ischia takes place on July 26th, and this is one of the most beautiful summer festivals in southern Italy, celebrating St. Anne, Mary's mother. Decorated boats fill the water surrounding Ischia's magnificent Aragonese castle, while locals celebrate a tradition that dates back centuries. And of course, the evening concludes with spectacular fireworks that you can see from all across the bay. Ravello has a festival that runs June through August, and it's a cultural festival that takes place in town. Concerts, performances, artistic events are held in extraordinary settings overlooking the sea, including the famous gardens of the Villa Ruffalo. The Feast of the Madonna del Carmine takes place in Naples on July 16th. It's one of Naples' most important religious celebrations after their patron. Prayers, processions, music, and local festivities center around the historic sanctuary of the Madonna del Carmine, reflecting the city's deep religious traditions. Remember, Ferragosto takes place throughout Campania and Italy on August 15th, transforming every town into a summer celebration. The Gusta Minori happens in late August, early September, and it's the taste of Minori. The town of Minori becomes a stage for culinary demonstrations, local specialties. It's a type of food festival, but it also includes performances and other celebrations. The Lemon Festival and summer food events happen throughout Amalfi and the coast throughout the summer. And one other thing I want to mention is the ancient performances at Paestum. Imagine watching a performance beside one of the best preserved Greek temples in the world. Throughout summer, Paestum hosts cultural events and performances that connect visitors with the region's ancient Greek heritage. It's one of the most atmospheric cultural experiences in southern Italy. As far as a 7-day itinerary, one of the advantages of Campania is that you can explore much of the region without a rental car. Between the high-speed trains that can get you to Rome, Naples, the regional trains, ferries, hydrofoils, buses, and private boat excursions, Campania is one of the easiest regions in southern Italy to navigate using public transportation as long as you have a little bit of patience. If I had 1 week to spend here, I would do it this way. You can use one base for 7 nights. If you prefer not to unpack and you just want to do day trips, choose Sorrento. Sorrento offers excellent transportation connections while providing easy access to Naples, Pompeii, Herculaneum, Capri, Ischia, Procida, and Amalfi. It also offers a wider range of accommodations than many of the smaller towns. On day 1, you arrive in Naples, make your way to Sorrento. Day 2, explore Sorrento, enjoy the waterfront. Day 3, take the ferry or head out to Capri. Day 4, do Pompeii and Vesuvius. We did those both in the same day. The afternoon was hot, though. Day 5, Amalfi and Ravello by ferry. Day 6, head to Ischia or Procida. And day 7, maybe a private boat excursion that takes you along the coast or sets up for a relaxing day of swimming. You can also choose 2 bases for 7 nights, perhaps 3 nights in Sorrento and 4 nights in Priano, Minori, or Amalfi. That splits your day between boat excursions, swimming, scenic walks, local restaurants, ferry trips between towns, and simply experiencing the rhythm of local life. Of the 3, my personal favorite is Priano. It offers great views, beautiful sunset, excellent restaurants, and a quieter atmosphere. With that, we will conclude our journey through Campania. Over the past 2 episodes, we've explored 2 very different sides of southern Italy. In Sicily, we discovered volcanic islands, ancient cities, hidden coves, and some of the Mediterranean's most diverse coastal landscapes. In Calabria and Campania, we explored dramatic cliffs, legendary coastlines, island adventures, historic fishing villages, and some of Italy's most celebrated summer destinations. Next time, we're going to cross to the Adriatic side of Italy and visit a region that has transformed from a hidden secret into one of the country's most sought-after summer destinations. Welcome to Puglia. Puglia occupies the heel of Italy's famous boot and offers a completely different coastal experience. Here you'll find whitewashed towns overlooking turquoise seas, golden beaches stretching for kilometers, dramatic sea caves, centuries-old olive groves, and charming fishing villages where life remains closely connected to the water. We will explore famous destinations such as Polignano a Mare, Monopoli, Ostuni, Gallipoli, Otranto, and the spectacular coastline of the Salento Peninsula. We'll talk about Italy's most beautiful beaches, discover hidden swimming coves, explore sea caves by boat, and visit towns where the Adriatic and Ionian seas have shaped local traditions for centuries. We'll also discuss one of the things that makes Puglia so special, its remarkable food culture. From fresh seafood to burrata to the orecchietti pasta and local wines, Puglia offers some of the most memorable culinary experiences in Italy. Like every episode in this series, I've got a blog on my website, KaterinaFerrara.com, so you can keep track of all the locations and destinations on the lists. If you've ever dreamed of clear water, white stone villages, seaside promenades, and long summer evenings on the Adriatic, you won't want to miss our next stop. Join me as we uncover the summer secrets of Puglia. Until then, travel slowly, travel deeply, and let the cities tell their stories.
Planning your perfect trip to Italy? Everything you need, all in one complete guide. All the sites, organized into thoughtfully designed walking tours, curated experiences, top-rated restaurants, and detailed maps. Plus, how to get there and get around, with train, driving details, and accommodation recommendations. The only guide that includes Italy's incredible festivals and how to enjoy them like a local. A complete series covering Italy's most beautiful regions. Turn your dream trip into reality. Get your guide today and start exploring.